No mai hoki mai anō ki te kauta nei. Welcome back to the kitchen. Today we are rustling up some beautiful lamingtons. Now these are going to be given to a beautiful Fijian kuia called Rosina, and she over the past week has been celebrating her 80th birthday party. Isn't that amazing? She was nominated by her granddaughter called Rosie. Rosie is based in Wellington and just really wanted to bless her nana. So Rosina, Hare huri tau kia koe. Happy birthday to you from all of the Whānaukai whānau. I te tuatahi, first we need to make a sponge cake. Now I've taken this recipe from my mum's tattery recipe book that I actually learnt to bake from. It's super simple, no fancy ingredients, and it produces this light and beautifully delicious sponge cake. Nā reira, koina ngā kai, ka whakamahia e tātou. Here are the ingredients you need.
Kia toru heki, 3 eggs. Kia toru hauwha kapu huka one, 3/4 of a cup of caster sugar. Kia kotahi kapu poehu purawa, 1 cup of flour. Kia kotahi kokoiti pēkana powder, 1 teaspoon of baking powder. Kia hauwha kapu miraka, 1/4 of a cup of milk. Kia kotahi kokonui pata, 1 tablespoon of butter. Break your heki into your mixing bowl and get your whip on. You want it to turn pale in colour and light and fluffy. Once you get that, it's time to add your huka one, a little bit at a time. Once it holds a figure 8, your sponge is ready to carry on adding the remaining ingredients. So we're going to melt our pata into our miraka, like so, leave to cool, and then add your poehu purawa and pēkana powder into your sifter, sift it on in, and gently, gently, gently fold it into your mixture. Once that's all incorporated, it's time to add your miraka and pata mixture. Gently fold again, and now pour into a 23 centimetre square tin lined with baking paper. Into the oven she goes at 170 degrees for around 20 minutes.
Once your sponge is cooked, there is one really essential thing that you must do. Mātaki mai, check this out.
Check that your sponge is cooked and boom.
Cool, right? You take the cake and you throw it on the floor. If you ask my brother or my sister, they will tell you this is our childhood memory of our mum removing the sponge out of the oven and just throwing it. It's a lot of fun, so I hope you do it too. And don't leave it on the ground. Pick it up, put it on a cooling rack, remove the baking paper and just let it cool. And while it cools, we are going to make some ganache. 2 simple ingredients, and I'm teaching you a slightly different technique this time.
Here's our beautiful sponge cake. Out of the cake tin it goes, pull off the baking paper and leave it to cool. And now onto your chocolate ganache. Kia rua rau rima tekau karamu tiakarete parori, 250 grams of dark chocolate. Kia rua rau rima tekau rita mano kirimi, 250 ml of cream. Kia rua rau rima tekau karamu kokonati, 250 grams of coconut. Tapahia te tiakarete. Chop the chocolate. Get it nice and fine, like so. Get it, girl. Into a bowl it goes. Now you're adding your creamy to a pot and bringing it to just under boiling point. Pour it on to your chopped chocolate. Let it sit for a couple of minutes and then stir and incorporate this all together until it turns into a beautiful sauce like so.
Okay, so we have the 3 first elements. Spongy sponge, chocolatey ganache, and have your coconut, your kokonati, on standby. Now we need to dip the sponge in the ganache and sprinkle on the coconut. Do it.
Right, so all we do is cut off the edges of our cooled, beautiful sponge like so, and then I got my ruler out. Aren't I good? Tapahia te keke. Cut the cake into 9 equal portions. Now dip your sponge into the chocolate ganache one at a time. Use one hand for the dipping and one hand for the coconutty. Just use a little bit of the coconutty at a time so it doesn't get too chocolatey. One by one, the same rhythm, until all of them are complete. Ka pai.
So the ganache needs to set on the lamingtons for about 30 minutes and you need to move on to the Chantilly cream. Now this sounds a lot fancier than it is. It is actually what our mums used to make in the 80s. What is it? Whipped cream with vanilla and a bit of icing sugar. The end.
Kia whārau rita mano creamy, 400 ml of cream. Kia haurua kapu puehuhuka, half a cup of icing sugar. Kia rua kokoiti bear wanira, 2 teaspoons of vanilla paste. Pour your beautiful creamy into a bowl. Add your pear wanira and puehuhuka. Get your mixer in there and whip it real good.
The Chantilly cream is done. Now if you wanted, you could just slice open your lamingtons and put the cream in and it would be delicious. But you know, on Whānaukai, the Giving series, I love to make things just a little bit special for you guys. So if you wanted to, you could make some chocolate bark, like so.
Kia waru te kaukaramu te akarete parauri kua rewa, 80 grams of melted dark chocolate. Kia toru te kaukaramu te akarete mā kua rewa, 30 grams of melted white chocolate. So all you need to do is spread your dark chocolate onto some baking paper, like so, nice and thin. And then get your white chocolate and just drizzle it all over. Then into the fridge for 10 to 15 minutes. And then after that, it should break off like so. Beautiful. It's time to assemble. So all we do is cut our lamingtons horizontally. I've made some strawberry jam, so add that on. Next, add your Chantilly cream. Pipe or just spread it on, up to you. Add the lids. Perfect, you can leave it like that. Or you can be a bit fancy, add some dollops of cream on top. Pretty. Then get half a strawberry, your chocolate bark, and then some freeze-dried strawberries over the top as well. He hākari nui kei te haere, a feast is coming. Te mutunga mai o te ātāhua, beautiful. I got these beautiful flowers for Rosina to celebrate her birthday and the lamingtons to share with her whānau. Mai tōku kauta ki tō kauta, ki ana ki te aroha.
Rosina, we hope you love your lamingtons. It was such a treat to meet you and we hope that you have had such a fabulous time celebrating your 80th birthday. Thank you again for joining us. Make sure you guys try and make these, they are so delicious. Mā te wā.
Tapahi, cut. Tapahia, cut it. Tapahia te keke, cut the cake. He hākari nui kai te haere, we are about to feast.